Welcome back to the third and I think final part of Fermi questions. Okay, so just as a recap, we had our input, we have our classroom dimensions, our Kleenex dimensions. I converted to inches on the classroom. We found the classroom volume and the object volume, and then we divided to find the number of objects. So now, if the question were how many Kleenex boxes would it take, we're done, but it's not. Our question is how much would it cost? So for that, I added one more input, and that's unit price. So I'm pretending that a box of Kleenex is $2.98. You would have to check that. I just needed a price. So, okay, so that's my unit price. Well, I know how many objects I have. If I know how many objects I have, I can just take the number of objects and multiply it by the price, and that'll give me my total cost. So I can go here, and I'm going to make an answer box up here. I'm going to merge and center three of them together. I'm going to type answers. And then down here, I'm going to put objects to fill the class. A room. And so I'm going to go equals. And I want to refer down to stuff. I don't want to do any other calculations. I'm going to click on objects, enter. That brought it up and it said objects. Well, if I click this little bottom right thing to the tiny plus, if I click that and drag it twice, it's going to go down here and it's going to pick up the cells to the right of that. That's good. So it brought it up here. And a couple of things, I could round this down. Let's say I want like a whole number. I could do up here, so here's general, and 2 to the right of that is decreased decimal. I could decrease it to 1. Also, Kleenex boxes doesn't fit in the column, so I could go to column, just go to the heading, and then go over here where your cursor turns into arrows, click it, drag it, stretch it out. Okay, so that's good, but I also want total cost. So right here, I'm going to merge and center 3. My light turned off for inactivity. I'm going to put total cost. Okay, so I know how many objects I have, and I have this unit price over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go equals. I'm going to click on my objects, times, and I'm going to click on the price. And notice how I got hashtags. I'm like, oh no, it's an error message. It's really not. All the hashtags mean is that your column's not wide enough to show the number. So if I go here, this is column F for me. So if I click on the F and I go between the F and the G, and I click and drag, I can drag it out until it fits. Okay, and then we're done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a box around this. So I'm going to go up here to borders, the outside border. I might, under my answers, I might underline that just to be cool. I could bold some of these things if I want to. I could underline, but basically that's it. So we had our inputs, which were the dimensions of the class, the dimensions of the Kleenex box, and the unit price. I converted to inches on the classroom. I found the volume of the classroom. I found the volume of the object. I did the volume of the classroom divided by the volume of the object. That gives us our number. And then we take that and we multiply it times our price, which is here. And that gives us our total cost. So it would cost me $208,145.79 to fill my classroom with Kleenex boxes. Yeah, maybe I'll do something else. Okay, so this is all set up, and since we set up the calculations like this, if we change these things, my answers will automatically update. So let's say I move to a different classroom, and it's like 45 by 50. Notice that now it would cost me $650,000 to fill up my classroom. That's a lot. Plus, I don't want 45 by 50, because if I had a classroom that big, that would give me way more students. Okay, and that's Fermi questions, so we're done.